Questions? First question here in the third row.
Rick, how's the team feeling and how's the preparation for a big game like today with so much at stake?
The team's doing good. I like that we're playing at 2 o'clock today. I like jumping into this thing. That's kind of how we've jumped into the season. So I think it's good not having to wait. Prep's been good. I'm sure everybody will say the same thing.
Same row in the middle.
Thank you, man. Sorry. We talked a little bit after the Boston game about how you guys playing some small lineups with Obi at the 5. I mean, how important is it for him to be productive there, especially with Sticks still out? Last game you had to play Daniel when you guys played Milwaukee, and just how critical can he be today when you're facing a bunch of bigs and don't have Jalen available?
Yeah, and he'll be one of the guys that guards Giannis at some point, and so one of our many challenges is defending without fouling. And so, Giannis puts you in a lot of tough spots there. So positioning there, Obi's a big part of that equation. When he plays 5, there's a big responsibility to rebound. They present you with another really unusual challenge because, Lopez is a 7'2" guy that can make 35-foot shots. And so, as a 5-man, you just got to be very aware of where he is, and a lot of the time, he's spaced way out. So, and he's super dangerous out there. So, but Obi's had a terrific year so far. He's gotten better and better, and just a super positive guy. So, he's a big part of what we're doing. Mark, over here.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Mark.
Tyrese obviously has been an all-star and played in some big games, but in a sense, is this kind of perhaps maybe more of a coming-out party to him, or a spotlight could be on him for people worldwide to see what he is?
Yeah, our guys have earned these opportunities to be on TNT, to be on national TV. We only had one national TV game scheduled this year. Ironically, I think it's in January at Boston, and so we got a home game against Boston on Monday, and now we got today's game, and certainly hoping to play on Saturday as well. I do think there's a great opportunity for the world to see him, but I do not think that that's how he's viewing it. I think he views it that he and the team have this opportunity, and we have a very tough task today. With 2 really all-world type players with Giannis and Lillard, and Middleton is a guy that gets overlooked a lot as a great player, and he's an all-star as well. So, to disrupt this thing and to come out on top today, it's got to be all about what we can do together, from start to finish, and it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of ups and downs and a lot going on. The game is very long, and so we're going to have to stick together throughout the whole thing.
And did you see this potential in you guys this fast, or are you surprised?
I'm never surprised, really, at anything when you have a player of his caliber and magnitude that has the ability to allow others around him to achieve, beyond what, their means may have been considered. But it's a fun group. These guys really love each other. They love playing together. We're pretty young in the season still. I don't think we've, compared to the rest of the league, we haven't played as many games. I think we're two or three games behind Milwaukee in games played. And so, this is a part of our schedule where it was going to get very busy. And so, you got to have a really tied together group to have success in those situations. And the other part of our schedule was that the first month and a half was home heavy and it was spacing heavy, and so you know, our goal was to have success during that stretch. You know, could have had more, and there's other games that, you know, you could say we probably shouldn't have won. And so we are where we are. But at 2 o'clock today, you know, we're coming out firing.
On your left, Eric.
Eric Bailey, Athletic. You mentioned defending without fouling. You've coached against Dame for a long time. One of the skills that he's developed late in his career is drawing fouls. What makes him so good at that?
Threat from deep. You know, you have to get close. Then, you know, when he gets angles and gets downhill, a lot of the times it's the auxiliary defender that draws the foul. It's the big that's trying to get out to trap, who's trying to retreat on a drop and gets stuck at an angle, and he just, you know, plows into the guy, you know, and it's tough, and he's going to make 90% of his free throws. So, you know, there's big challenges with this team for sure.
Rachel over here on the right.
Hey, Rich.
Following up on the Lillard theme, what do you tell your guys about Damian in the last 5 minutes of a game, close clutch situation? You know where the ball is going, but then how do you defend that smartly?
Yeah, we've got a list of guys that, you know, we can put on them. Everything from quickness to size, different coverages. You know, everything from occasionally scatting under. You know, if you can somehow do it, to trapping, to going and trapping in isolation. You know, and there's probably some other coverage we'll have to invent. You know, the way this thing has gone, and so he's a great player, and he's great in the clutch, and so, you know, we can't let him off the hook. We've got to make him defend too, and you know, try to put ourselves in a situation late where, you know, we have a puncher's chance.
Willie, back left.
Hi, Rick. Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. Yesterday, a lot of excitement with the practices. During that practice, less than 5 miles down the road, barricades, cops everywhere, a shooter on the campus of UNLV. I'm just wondering, it doesn't necessarily put a damper on this event, but when you come off the practice floor, you're in the locker room with your players, is there anything you share, anxiety a little bit, or talk to them about, just your thoughts on yesterday and sort of getting past that?
Yeah, very sobering situation, and obviously the thoughts and prayers and sincerest condolences of everyone involved with this tournament go out to the families of those killed or injured, and it just seems senseless. And you know, yesterday I didn't even hear about it until I was on the last bus out of the arena. So I was on the last bus with Miles and Tyrese because we had to do media, and we had 2 other buses that left before us. So we didn't hear about it until we were on the 3rd bus. So there was not a team situation to talk about it, and so that's how that whole thing came down. It was unusual, tragic, of course, and it should just heighten everyone's awareness of the problems that we have in this country and the challenges that we have, and ways to try to make things better.
Third row on your left.
When you look at this tournament and its impact, for various teams, depending on who you have, it's obviously going to be different. But for you guys, as young as you are, to beat Boston, Milwaukee, back-to-back on this stage, what do you feel like the big picture repercussions are from something like this early?
You mean for us?
Yeah.
Or, well, yeah, I mean, this is, you know, we're an opportunistic group. That's how we've got to approach every single game all year long. You know, the NBA Cup is an opportunity for, you know, a one and done elimination tournament, you know, in November and December. It's something that's built for opportunistic teams. You know, the comparisons to the NCAA tournament abound, you know, for obvious reasons. But for us, you know, we don't get into talking about results or getting ahead of ourselves. I mean, we're really all about process. We know these games are hard, and to embrace the grind of finding a way to do it together. And it's very difficult. You know, at halftime of the Boston game, I mean, you know, we had Tyrese, who had a pretty severe case of bronchitis, who was zapped, and they had attacked him 7 straight times at the end of the first half. You know, we had gone from a lead to down 7 at halftime, and then, you know, at that point you got to circle the wagons and reformulate, you know, how you're gonna attack the second half. And you know, he came out and obviously had an amazing third quarter, which got us right back into the game. But the storylines are going to be different, you know, from quarter to quarter to half, you know, from minute to minute, whistle to whistle. And so it's one of the cool things about this kind of a setup is that, you know, in real time, there's just shit going on everywhere, you know, and it's added to the intrigue of it. It's added certainly to the attention of it, and you know, we're proud to be a part of it, and proud to be, you know, representing Indiana, you know, Indianapolis, you know, and our fans.
Last question, back row on the left.
Hi, Coach. Aurelia Rico for the German Basket magazine. Like you just said.
Did you say German Basket?
Yeah, it's a German magazine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like you just said, we're just at the beginning of the season, and normally during these times the games are kind of, you know, slow and not that much energy maybe in it. Would you say that it helps even for the Pacers now that they have a kind of already a taste how a playoff game maybe could look like, and also that they see through that it opens up like an extra potential to even give more into to it really stand at the end of the season in the playoffs?
Well, you know, the more meaningful games that you can have with a young team, the more they learn what winning is about. The process, you know, how to eliminate your individual needs, you know, from game to game, to, you know, to come together and to do cliche type things to try to come up with a result, you know. And so yeah, and you know, the game Monday, the majority of our guys on our team had never experienced a game like that and an environment like that against that kind of opponent. I mean, Boston had the best record in the NBA at the time, and so, you know, there's got to be a collective attitude that we approach all this stuff with. You know, as you look at games, scores are fluctuating like this every night in the NBA and the in-season tournament. I mean, heck, we were up 7 or 8, and we were down 7 at halftime, and then we got up 7, then they took the lead, and then, you know, in the Boston game, the Atlanta game we had at Atlanta was, you know, there's people still writing about that game, and we were down 20 in that game in the first half, and it's one of the both exciting things about today's game and maddening, you know, depending on your perspective, but this kind of competition and this kind of environment, you know, we're coming to Vegas, and this feels different, and it's important for our players to feel what this feels like and have a plan to attack with it. And so, you know, we're grateful. The opportunity to be here is earned, and you know, we're looking forward to it.